Happy Monday, Leftofawesome. There will not be any intro music because otherwise I won't be able to finish this video. Okay, so tomorrow at 10 a.m., the California Supreme Court will announce its ruling on whether or not Proposition 8 has been deemed unconstitutional. And if it is deemed unconstitutional, that will mean the proposition will be invalidated, meaning gay people are allowed to get married again. Yay! They will also be deciding whether or not, if they invalidate the proposition, whether or not they will invalidate the 18,000 or so marriages that occurred during the 5 or so months that it was legal. So basically, Proposition 8 violates the California Constitution, and the California Constitution, in turn, because of Proposition 8, violates the federal Constitution, which it's not allowed to do. Because, okay, first of all, Proposition 8 is a proposition, and you aren't supposed to be able to amend a federal or state constitution with a proposition. You need to have a actual, amendment act, and it needs to have a 2/3 majority vote. And the Prop 8 didn't pass with a 2/3 majority. It passed with 5% over half. It was 55% to 45%. It also violates the separation of church and state because it's the country passing a moral judgment onto the minority. It's saying, this is wrong, and therefore you aren't allowed to do it. And it's also, the majority of people who think it is morally improper is because of religious reasonings, which shouldn't be a reasoning for any law to be passed. And then, while I was looking around for research to use in this video, I found this letter from during the campaign of Proposition 8. Basically, I'm going to read through it and explain why it sucks. Deep societal fallout if marriage, it has it in quotes, is legally redefined. Arguments against Prop 8 rationalize excuses that churches will not be forced to perform same-sex marriages and that they will still be able to maintain their tax-exempt statuses. I foresee the opposite being true. Already, many Christian churches have had to abandon nationwide adoption agencies rather than, against their morals, be forced to allow same-sex couples to adopt. If forced to perform abortions, the Catholic Church has already said that it will abandon its historical traditional involvement in all Catholic hospitals nationwide. I really don't have much to say to that. I don't like to really go into religion on stuff like this because I just get angry. Not that I'm not already angry. But, God forbid they let gay people adopt babies. Oh my god. I'm gonna die. If the act of homosexuality is legally to be determined to be on par with the sanctity of the civil rights of race, color, and religion, with religion losing more rights again, so gay people being trusted amongst the ranks of black people and people, Hispanic people and people of other ethnicities, is that really so wrong? Then this is continuation. How does that make religion lose rights? I don't understand. But then all churches that teach the 5,000-year-old fundamental morals of Judeo-Christianity, being that homosexuality is an act of perversion and an offense to God, will all be in trouble. Homosexuality is not a perversion. Love is love, and sex is sex. If a man wants to screw a man, let him. If a woman wants to screw a woman, let her. Who gives a fuck? At stake will not only be their tax-exempt status, but they could possibly be in trouble for allegedly teaching hate crimes from the pulpit. This man has some really awful comma splicing throughout here, just so you know. The Bible could even be determined to contain hate material and be banned by the government. He forgot the word be. It just says and banned by the government. If racial minority can now sue a church on the grounds of discrimination, how would it be possible to stop homosexuals from suing a church to be married at the altar? Well, honestly, If a couple or a person of color can sue a church for being racist, then why can't a homosexual couple sue a church for being racist? Not racist, homophobic. If you can't stop them, you shouldn't be able to. There's no reason to. Every single legitimate scientific study shows that homosexuality is not inherited, otherwise the gene would have eventually mutated itself out, and that children on the whole of heterosexual couples are emotionally healthier and greater contributors to society, rather than children of broken homes, which is irrelevant. Why is he even mentioning this? It doesn't make any sense. And same-sex couples, a disproportionate number of whom become a burden to society. There have been so many studies refuting the fact that children from homosexual parentage have trouble later in life. Because people say, oh, you know, gay parents breed gay children, and which isn't true. You know, maybe they'll grow up to be a little bit more tolerant of homosexuality, and you know, that's not a bad thing. Growing up to be naturally naturally tolerant of differences is a good thing, no matter what the differences be. And, you know, people say that they're going to have trouble in their social relationships and they're going to be confused about their gender identity. None of this is true. It's pure bullshit. It's bullshit. That's all it is. It's propaganda. It's bullshit. It's completely fucking ridiculous. And the fact that he even mentions broken homes, and it's like, yes, children from broken homes have more problems. I can personally attest to this. But that has nothing to do with the issue at hand. I mean, this man, Ben Padilla, is just trying to make a correlation that isn't there to better his own situation. And it says down here, this is his little closing punch. Instead of diluting the meaning of marriage and inspiring what is good for our society and future generations, why isn't the government promoting what's ultimately best and healthy for society instead of trying to appease special interest groups? Because, you know, homosexuals aren't a legitimate minority, you know, they're just a special interest group. And the fact that there are people getting divorced every God knows how many seconds and getting married for 54 hours and then getting an annulment doesn't dilute the meaning of marriage at all. The fact that people think this, that people think letting people who love each other get married dilutes the meaning of marriage, makes me so angry. It's not even funny. And it makes me sad. And I have to wonder how these people felt after Proposition 8 passed. I wonder if they had to see how it affected the people around them. I wonder if they saw any of their friends cry because they couldn't marry the person they were in love with. I watched some of my closest friends cry. I have a good friend who's been engaged to her girlfriend for the past 6 months. And they've been together for like 4 years. And her mother wouldn't let them get married. Not because she thinks they're too young, but because she's marrying a girl. And now she might never be able to get married. Do you know how badly I hurt for them? For myself and for all of my other friends who may never be able to marry who they want to? Just because the government says so? It's not fair. It's not right. And I sincerely hope that the California Supreme Court makes the right decision and deems this as unconstitutional. Because it is. Have a nice week, guys, and cross your fingers tomorrow for me and for everyone else you know, and for yourself and for the entire state of California. Bye!